My sister stole my fiancé, so I let her keep him. There are betrayals you eventually learn to forgive, and then there are betrayals that completely change the way you see the people you've loved your entire life. I experienced both on the same day. One moment I was planning my wedding, the next, my fiancé was gone, not because he fell out of love with me, because he fell in love with my sister. At least, that's what they wanted everyone to believe. What they didn't realize was that stealing him turned out to be the biggest mistake either of them would ever make. My name is Noah, and this is how I lost the woman I was supposed to marry, but somehow ended up being the lucky one. Emily and I had been together for almost 5 years. We met through mutual friends. She was funny, ambitious, and had this way of making every room feel brighter. After 3 years of dating, I proposed. She said yes without hesitation. Our family celebrated. Wedding plans started immediately. Everything seemed perfect. My younger sister, Lily, was one of Emily's closest friends. The two of them spent hours shopping together, planning decorations, tasting cakes, and discussing every tiny wedding detail. Honestly, I thought it was sweet. Emily always said she was lucky to be marrying into a family where she already had a best friend. Looking back, warning signs were there. I just refused to see them. Lily suddenly wanted to attend every wedding meeting, every dress fitting, every venue visit. At family dinners, she and Emily laughed at inside jokes I wasn't part of. If I walked into a room, conversations would suddenly stop. Whenever I asked what was so funny, they'd smile and say, "Nothing." I believed them. Because why wouldn't I? One was the woman I planned to spend my life with. The other was my sister. The two people I trusted most. Then about 2 months before the wedding, things changed. Emily became distant. She blamed stress, wedding pressure, work, anything except the truth. Our conversations became shorter, date nights disappeared. She started guarding her phone. Every instinct told me something was wrong. But every time I asked, she insisted I was imagining things. Then came the family barbecue. The day everything fell apart. I arrived late because of work. As I walked into my parents' backyard, everyone suddenly looked uncomfortable. My mother wouldn't meet my eyes. My father looked nervous. Even my cousins stopped talking. Then I saw them, Emily and Lily, standing unusually close together. The second Emily noticed me, she took a deep breath. "I need to tell you something." I honestly thought she wanted to postpone the wedding. Instead, she reached for Lily's hand. My heart stopped. Emily looked directly at me. "I've fallen in love with someone else." Before I could even speak, Lily squeezed her hand. The entire world went silent. "I didn't mean for this to happen," Lily whispered. Neither of them looked guilty. They looked relieved, like finally telling me I'd solved all their problems. I waited for someone to laugh, to tell me this was some horrible joke. Nobody did. Then Emily quietly removed her engagement ring, placed it on the patio table, and said, "I'm sorry." Sorry? 5 years together, a planned wedding, hundreds of guests already invited, and all I got was, "I'm sorry." I looked around at my family. Nobody defended me. Nobody even looked surprised. That hurt more than the betrayal itself. Apparently, everyone already knew, everyone except me. I picked up the ring, put it in my pocket, looked at both of them, and simply said, "I hope you're happy." Then I walked away. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't fight for someone who had already chosen someone else. The next few weeks were brutal. Friends picked sides. Wedding vendors had to be called. Deposits were lost. People constantly asked awkward questions. The hardest part wasn't losing Emily. It was realizing my own sister had been lying to my face for months. Then something unexpected happened. Emily and Lily made their relationship public. Social media photos, romantic captions, vacation pictures. They acted like they were living a fairy tale. Meanwhile, I focused on rebuilding my life. I buried myself in work, accepted a promotion I'd almost turned down because of the wedding, started traveling, met new people. Slowly, life became peaceful again. About a year later, I received an invitation. Lily and Emily were getting married. Apparently, they wanted the whole family there. I politely declined. Not out of anger, out of self-respect. A few months passed. Then I heard through relatives that things weren't going well. Very quickly, the relationship that began with excitement slowly turned into constant arguments. Trust became an issue. Funny how relationships born from betrayal often struggle with trust. Emily constantly questioned where Lily was. Lily wondered who Emily was texting. The same secrecy that brought them together slowly pulled them apart. Eventually, they separated. Not long after that, Emily contacted me. She wanted to apologize. She admitted she confused excitement with love. She admitted she'd hurt me. She even admitted leaving me had been the biggest mistake of her life. I appreciated the honesty. But some doors only close once. I wished her well. Then I moved on. My relationship with Lily never fully recovered. We speak during holidays, birthdays, family gatherings, but the closeness we once had is gone. Trust once broken rarely returns exactly as it was. People often ask if I regret not fighting for my relationship. The answer is always no. Because someone who can be stolen was never really yours. If Emily could walk away after 5 years together, she would have eventually walked away anyway. Lily didn't steal my future. She removed the wrong person from it. Looking back now, I realize I didn't lose my soulmate. Lost someone who wasn't willing to stay. And that's a very different thing. Today, I'm married to an incredible woman who knows what loyalty actually means. We built our relationship on honesty instead of secrets, on trust instead of deception. Sometimes I think back to that afternoon, in my parents' backyard, the day I thought my life had fallen apart. But it didn't. It simply changed direction. And sometimes, the people who betray you aren't taking your happiness, they're clearing the path for it. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, remember this. Never beg someone to choose you. The right person never makes you compete for a place in their life. And the greatest victory isn't getting revenge. It's building a future so fulfilling that the people who walked away become nothing more than a chapter you no longer need to reread.